I wanna Sunday kind of love.
Hey, so what we have here is a Divvy bike that seems to be unsecured here in the city of Chicago. A little beat up. I don't know if it was used for any crimes, but there's been a lot of talk about the Divvy bikes here in the city of Chicago. And I'm up here early on a Sunday morning. Today is August 5th, 4th. It's Sunday, 4th day of Lollapalooza. Hope you're having a good time. And if the rain is here a little bit longer than if you're at Lollapalooza, you'll get some mud today. You can dance around in the mud. Which brings me to a couple things. This bike is sitting here, probably stolen. This could be a couple things. This could be a bait bike. So there might be a police officer around here waiting for me to take off on this thing. But I don't think so. I saw two cops the other day detaining a person with a bike, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And they were calling into a number. I guess they have a special 1-800-DIVVY number? I don't know. If you call Divvy here in town, nobody answers the phone. And so they must call in and say, is bike number, whatever number's on here, stolen? So they must have a record of the bikes that are stolen or not on the racks. There's got to be some sort of tracking system, which brings me to another point. The point is, I'm not a lawyer, but there could be an ACLU, and I'm only saying that because it sounds smart, American Civil Liberties, because most of the people that they're stopping on Divvy bikes are black. And if you look at the people that have been listed, there's a few white dudes in there, maybe a Hispanic or two, but for the most part, they're black. Now, I'm not one of these ACLU type lawyers, but if they really wanted to, they could go to the city and say, look, a disproportionate amount of black people have been stopped for riding divvies and stolen. Could you give us a record of how many white people you stopped? Well, first they stop them for probable cause, which is riding on the sidewalk or, you know, coming out. Who knows? They always have that, oh, well, we stopped you because of. That's usually how it starts. And all these Black Lives Matter things, they're like, well, you know, they had a broken tail light and that's why we pulled them over. We know the story. Anyway, that's not my thing. I don't have an axe to grind in that neighborhood. But I could see this being a potential sticking point for that. Okay, so then like somebody's gonna say, well, how many people did you stop? These are city property. This is supposedly $1,300 of ROM's money. And then, of course, since it's the city's, these are ours. So is there an accountability? Now, the company that runs them, Divvy, I don't know too much about. I know that, I think they are Canadian. I don't know. I don't think they care one way or the other because they're really not their bikes. They DM'd me once about a bike, and I'm like, screw you. What's my incentive as a citizen to give this bike back? None, zero. Just let it get stolen. I don't care. Because one, they could give it to me. They could say, listen, I turn this bike in, I'll give you a pass for a year or something. It's a non-depleting resource. It won't cost Divvy a dime. It won't cost the city a dime. It's like, here, you did a good job, citizen. Bring this bike in and you're cool. But no, they don't do that because they're losers. Just like the rest of the things in this city, when things are free, they tend to get abused. And well, this isn't free. Well, they're stealing them now, so they're kind of free. But just like any other good things that happen, they go away because, you know, that's what happens. Anyway, here's a bike. You want to steal it or come ride it, joyride it, and then it's stolen property. Now, what if you didn't know that? I guess you're supposed to be smart enough to know this. I mean, it raises a whole lot of questions with the whole Divvy bike program. And this is the 4th Divvy bike I found. I find these things all the time. they're out there. I don't know if you can tell if this one's been stolen because of, I don't know if there's a telltale sign. There's a whole lot of questions here. And they will eventually, well, who knows? Who cares? Oh, there's a bunch of shootings last night. That's right. We have cops finding Divvy bikes. Oh, and that's another thing. What if my bike gets stolen? Okay, are the cops going to like rando? You're like, hey, that bike doesn't look like it belongs to you. Who do they call? Do they get registered bikes now? I mean, will this be the stepping point for that, the slippery slope? And why would you, hey, look, dude, you can't afford that bike. I mean, how do they go about, like, okay, and private property? I mean, why are they looking for their property, not like my property? See, my bike gets stolen. Are they going to sit there and say, hey, that bike doesn't look like it belongs to you? And then there's all these shootings in the city, which brings me to, like, that thing they had the other day where they turned this whole shooting thing into a north-south thing. All those cops that were deployed for that, they could be out looking for Divvy bikes or stopping people with illegal guns that, there's plenty of federal laws. And that's a whole video for another day. You know where I'm going with that one. Nobody was down there going, what about the judges? Because, we hate the cops. I know. I'm done with this. Here, free Divvy bike if you want it.